Okay, my name is Mehedi I'm from Bangladesh, and here's my water story. When I was 9 or 10 years old, there was a big tornado. We call that Cedar, SITR. It hit the south region of Bangladesh, and there was a really great flood. And like where I grew up, like in Pulna Shiromoni, there the trees were rooted out of the ground like tin shed, like the houses which had steel roofs or tin shed. You know what that means?
No.
uh, like you can google it, like tin shed. You'll see like the roofs were torn apart from the houses and everything got flooded. Um, some people couldn't get really that much water to drink, or some people really had to go someplace else to get water, get jobs. Some people lost their jobs really, and it really affected the south region of Bangladesh that time. And um, another thing which I heard from my parents, my Appu Ammu, like there was a really huge flood in Bangladesh back in 1989 or 1990. I wasn't born back then. So there was a huge flood, like in Shiromoni, my village, like it got flooded, like everything was in flood. And people were like starving, they couldn't get any water to drink, there was no food, and people really suffered back then. But things are good right now. But I can say that for like because of climate change, like it's really starting to affect everything. Like the temperature is getting higher, and everybody like there's not really that much water to drink sometimes. Sometimes like the uh, rooftop tanks which collect water, they get emptied out. And there's another thing, like sometimes we don't have electricity to pump up water to the tanks. So there are some times where we can go a day without water. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing. I want to hear more about the ideas of not having water. And you mentioned earlier that there are some cities and villages where there are some regions where there's no water. Could you talk about that a little more?
Yeah. There are some like remote villages, like villages which are very inside the country, which cannot get clean water. Like they have water sources, but which are not very clean. Like if we talk about my village had uh, well system, which are a tube well, and people collect tube well from that place. My dad actually put the tube well back there, like he put it there to give water to everybody. That's another thing. Yeah, that's all about it.
And I know you work with mental health. Do you
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
that in any way, this sort of like water anxiety, people being unsure if they have clean water, do you think that might have impacted mental health states in Bangladesh in some places?
Yeah, like suppose you're not getting clean water. Like let's talk about Ramadan. Like suppose it's Ramadan, you're not drinking water right now, but you're fasting. But what if that was the case for you for the whole year? Like you couldn't get any water, clean water, and like that would create a mental stress for anyone. Like normally speaking, if I couldn't get water from for one day for 24 hours, I would go mental. I'd really,
No, I definitely understand. I think a lot of fasting, at the end of the day, I know that I'm going to get water, but that
yeah.
type of
But
water
but
stress.
yeah, you're sure that you're gonna get water, but there are some places where people are not sure if they will get water or anything. sometimes they go days without drinking water. They suppose the parents find some water, but they don't drink it. They give it to their children for them to drink.
Wow. Do you think that because water is more scarce there, people come to appreciate it more?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Like if you don't have something, you really do appreciate it when you finally get it.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. As one final question, how do you
Yeah,
say
yeah, sure.
water in Bangla?
Funny.
Pani. Well,
Yeah,
thank you so much for sharing your Pani story. It's so great to speak with you.
yeah. It was great talking to you.